I don't bring the brilliance of a medical background or scientific background that our revered delegates have brought to this summit. Mine is a strategic role and to support Amajit, who, as we all know, is really personification of determination and persistence. Having heard everybody's contributions to the summit, it is obvious from their life work that those characteristics are very strong in the members of our international family who have been brought up with Vedic knowledge. As we know, knowledge is structured in consciousness. India has been the custodian of the Veda, translates to science or knowledge, we know. It's uncreated, that knowledge, but it is revealed in the consciousness of the individual. Somebody was talking a little earlier about raising awareness within education in order to raise standards. And this is the coming together that we're witnessing now, is the consciousness-based approach. And Ayurveda is consciousness-based medicine. It's holistic. So we're now seeing the merging, the wave ebbs and the wave flows in the evolution of human consciousness. That wave is now returning to produce a fully holistic awareness of life. This summit, I think Amajit will agree, has fulfilled our expectations way beyond the limit that we envisaged to start with when he first mooted that we would start this. The other thing is he preempted the fact that the change of government in the UK meant that there would be very much new brooms sweeping clean. And we're faced with the ailing patient of the NHS. And the Prime Minister has called for a national consultation process now. Fortunately, Amajit has positioned the Ayurveda fraternity in that we can structure and build a bridge, the bridge that Prime Minister Modi referred to when he unveiled the plaque in London with the then Prince of Wales, King Charles III. They referred to it as a living bridge of knowledge. And honoured delegates, can we say to you, as a representative of the British people, we are so ready for consciousness-based approach to life. We've got Ayurveda, we've got Jyotish, Yagya, Stapatya Veda, Gandharva Veda, all these fully expressed levels of life that we are going to be witnessing coming up, rising in British national consciousness as this is integrated into the educational system. Now, Western science, and what has been very mind-expanding for me from this summit, is the level of scientific knowledge in our delegates, obviously expressing the best of their nation and the importance of both hemispheres of the brain, the analytic thinking and the synthetic thinking. So we are all born into a time of great change and transition now. And it's a very fortunate and very blissful time to be born. So there's nothing really to say on the content of why ACE, the Academy for Expressing this Knowledge, was founded now as a registered educational NGO in the UK. What we need to do now is obvious from everybody's expressions, is to institutionalize the outcomes of our summit. Now, on the political side, the all-party parliamentary group, Indian Traditional Sciences, is known to the British parliamentary environment, in the environment. it was said that we need to now integrate a framework for research. We need to integrate a framework for institutionalizing this knowledge so that it can be perhaps a template that we're starting now in Britain and which we want to duplicate anywhere in the world, this great joint venture between our two nations, India and Britain. Perhaps on a more mundane level, there has been a lot of focused attention on the UK-India trade agreement, which over the years has been moving towards free trade. This is incredibly important because we need the regulatory standards fast-tracked now. Everybody's said that. When it's a matter of trade, those things tend to be given more attention. But fundamental to our aims here is training, technology transfer, and trade for products. So this is an important area, and the APPG is also interacting with businesses and encouraging policymakers and parliamentarians to work together. So we've gone through, I can add nothing to what you've all said. The strength on the Western side or British side of contemporary medicine, I think is known. Technology is evolving at enormous speed and will continue to reinvent itself. And then on the other side, holistically, we have the underlying, all permeating knowledge of Vedic science. Now, when we were discussing this, setting up this summit, just a last comment on this, we were talking about the difference between integrated and integrative. Integrated is definitely, from one point of view, a very important role of the NHS. And that is to integrate all their systems, their logistics, to deliver efficiently and without delay in a cost-effective way healthcare to the British Isles. Integrative, one could say, is what is the content of that superb delivery system which they have the capacity to deliver. And this is where people have talked in the summit a lot about filling the gap. So the gap is the classical knowledge of Ayurveda, and classical in the sense that it is preventative. We know the only way to control spiraling health costs in the National Health Service is to stop people becoming ill. It's as simple as that. Yeah. So with a perfect system of delivery, with perfect knowledge of contemporary medicine and classical medicine of Ayurveda, we've solved the problem. How do we institutionalize going forward to minimize delay? We know that we are here today and yesterday in response to the need of the time, which is that unless Vedic knowledge is introduced into Western healthcare, those nations will become bankrupt. The only way we can restore fiscal balance is to restore balance in nature and balance in our own nature. So Amarjeet has told me that what we need to do is, at the end of the conference, think about that structure going forward. Here we are, an academy that has been founded as a special purpose vehicle to carry the aspirations of the wise throughout time and the wise represented in our conference. So how are we going to do it? Can we form a board of trustees? Can we invite patrons? Can we agree a schedule of summits? Could we say that we would like a summit on each continent? Would we like to meet, for instance, at the United Nations next year? all these questions, we need a steering group to take it forward. So all I can do on behalf of all the British people is to thank you all for coming, because it's very easy to sit in an office and be on a Zoom call. But the power of your presence has really enlivened this knowledge in collective consciousness in Britain. So thank you, Amajit, for making this possible. Thank you for all our brilliant contributors. It really has been a very inspirational event. Thank you. Namaste.